Hey, what's up, leaders and core team of Brandon Assembly? Hey, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know how busy you guys are, because God has blessed you with lots of things on your plate to accomplish, because He knows you can handle it. So I know how busy you are, but thank you for watching this video. I get to share with you some exciting news, some what I am just stoked about. I am beyond excited about news of what God's doing in our church right now. And let me start it out by kind of pointing out some things. One, if you've been to the 11 o'clock service, you know that for the last couple months especially, it's been way overcrowded. In fact, there's sometimes we've got to bring several rows, not just one, but several rows of chairs into the very back fold-out chairs. Sometimes they're going into the connection room. And the 11 o'clock has been really crowded. The 9:30 hasn't been much better. There's about an 80% rule. They say about 75 to 80% when the church reaches that capacity that it's really full, because there's certain things like the very front row people generally don't sit on. They also don't want to sit really close to strangers, maybe next to family. But if you're a guest in the church and you're sitting next to somebody and they're right up next to you and you just have that awkward kind of feel about it, you want some spaces. There's got to be spaces inside the church. And even as a church member, come on, sometimes you don't want to sit next to people I mean, there might be that person that has that smell. Anyway, just kidding, of course. But you know what I mean. You need some spaces in between people in order for the church to continue to grow and to continue to be healthy. And this is especially true for our guests. And so the 9:30 usually stays pretty full. The 11 o'clock has been overcrowded for quite a while. And so we've gotten to the extent that when they walk in, if they're late, which we live in a culture where everybody's late, it starts getting really hard to find seats, because while there might be a seat here or here, you can't see it, because when people are standing up during worship, they all kind of bunch together. When they sit down, you can see the open spots. We've actually had to divide up guest families before. So maybe a family of 5 comes in and 3 of them have to sit here and 2 have to sit over here. And you can imagine that. I mean, that's obviously not the best situation for a visiting family to walk into our church and experience something like that. And we've actually had some that might even walk in and walk back out. I had a moment not long ago where I walked into a service and it was so crowded, so congested, just such a difficult atmosphere right there where you walk in, because worship was already going on and a crowd is there trying to find seats, that if I were a guest, I thought if I were a guest, I'd probably turn around and walk out. And so that's an issue. That's a challenge, man. We got to do something about that. And God moves better when people aren't distracted by other stuff. And our whole goal as a church is to be a place where people can experience God. And when you're sitting next to somebody you don't know and it's too close, when it's really hot, and if you've been in the 11 o'clock service and the crowds, you know the heat of the 11 o'clock service. So it's really hot. It's just uncomfortable. It's awkward. It's not the best environment for people to experience God, because their mind is not on God. Their mind is being distracted by other things. On top of that, you got things like babies crying and stuff like that. So all this going on. So we've been racking our brains as a leadership team for a few weeks now, trying to figure out, and when I say leadership team, I mean staff, trying to figure out what we can do about this. And we've thrown out all kinds of ideas. Finally, we landed on what I believe is going to be amazing. Let me introduce you to Sunday Night Live at 5. Boom! Sunday Night Live at 5. Just say it with me. Sunday Night Live at 5. Sunday Night Live at 5. It just rolls off your tongue. We are creating a 4th service. Somebody might actually make the statement or think, and it's a good thought, how come we can't just get more people into the 8 o'clock? Well, truth be told, with the number of people we have that attend our church every weekend, even if we were to divide them perfectly evenly between 3 services, all 3 would still be full and not have much room to grow. Now, realistically, we all know that not many people are going to come to the 8 o'clock service. It's always going to be a little bit less. And we have had pretty good crowds in 8 o'clock, but it's still far less than the 9:30 and 11. And so there's less people in the 8 o'clock, and that's okay. That's understandable. And for you leaders and folks who do come to the 8 o'clock, thank you so much. I appreciate it beyond words. You are literally giving up a seat for somebody whose lives can be changed by Jesus Christ and experiencing Him in our church. So thank you for that. But realistically, even if we divided it evenly, which can't happen, it still creates 3 full services. So we are creating a 4th service, and we're calling it Sunday Night Live at 5. Guess what time it is? 5 o'clock. Guess what night it is? Sundays. So starting October the 4th, we are going to start the 4th service. Just remember this. This is catchy. We did this on purpose. 4th at 4. 4th at 4. The 4th service is at 4. The 4th service, is at 5. The 4th service starts on the 4th. I said that wrong. But anyway, the fourth on the 4th, and we're so excited. The name, the catchy name, Sunday Night Live at 5. Josh Cunningham gets credit for that. Go Josh! And that came out of his mouth. But man, I'm so excited about this. It's going to be in some ways a normal service. In some ways, I'm going to preach the same message, although it might have a different flair to it. We're going to have the same worship set, although it might have a different flair to it. But we are going to cater kind of to the younger crowd, the what I would call next generation crowd. That's a core value of our church as it is. We value the next generation. So the college crowd, the young adult crowd. And so when, to kind of paint a picture for you, when you walk in the back doors of the church, or the front doors, depending on how you look at it. When you walk in the doors of the church, you're going to have some food right there. It's not dinner food, but it might be some things you can snack on, like maybe pizza, or some pizza rolls, or pizza pockets, or donuts, or muffins. I don't know. We're going to have those kind of food things, maybe even some soda there. We're going to have coffee, because God forbid we have church without coffee nowadays, right? We got to have coffee. And so we're going to have coffee there and create that kind of atmosphere when you walk in, similar in some ways to a Wednesday night. On the TVs, we're actually going to have the football games right now, because a lot of people want to see what's going on with the football games. So until church starts, we're putting the football games on the TV. So it's going to look different. It's going to have a far more casual feel. Even as the pastor, I'm going to dress in probably t-shirt and jeans, and just a much more casual feel to it. Maybe polo shirts and jeans. I don't know for sure. Whatever I feel like wearing, to be honest with you. Just a very casual atmosphere. The worship team and the leaders on the stage who do transitions and intros and outros and all those things are going to primarily be the college crowd, the young adult crowd. And so I am so excited about this. I feel like I get to go back to my youth ministry days a little bit and just have a blast and have a lot of fun in church. And maybe you're even thinking right now, you're like, man, I want to go to 5 o'clock service. You can come to 5. And if you go to 8 o'clock service, stay at 8 o'clock, please. But if you're 9:30 or 11, come to 5 o'clock, man. It's going to be a blast. You can sleep in on Sunday morning. You can go to Disney World and spend the night on Saturday night and still get to church on Sunday afternoon. You can go to the beach on Sunday morning. All these things start to open up. And so, but I'm so excited about Sunday Night Live at 5, and I wanted to be able to share it with you. I wanted to make sure that you got to hear the news first. As leaders in our church and as a core team in our church, I thank you so much for what you do. I don't even know how to put into words the thankfulness I feel. You guys do so much. In fact, if you weren't doing what you do, I couldn't do what I do. And people oftentimes praise me and they talk about me because I'm the guy on the stage and I'm the guy with the microphone and I have initials in front of my name or whatever. But I want you to understand that you are the core of the church. Realistically, if I left, and I'm not leaving, but if I left, I can be replaced. But if all of you leave, we would fall to our knees because you guys are so important and I value you so much. And because of that, I wanted to make sure you got to hear this information from me first, and then we'll pass it down to the church as a whole. So thank you so much for all you do, and I look forward to what God is doing. It is an exciting time in our church. Once we go into the new church, by the way, once we finish the new campus and move into the new church, we would not continue the fourth service at 5. That would become the college service as well, which Haley is all excited about because it gives a kickoff to the college service, so to speak. It's kind of like a spark plug, or we get all excited, we build up some momentum, and then we can hand it off to the college students and keep that rolling as well as a separate ministry of the church at 5 o'clock. All that being said, I am really excited about it. I hope you're excited about it. I hope you're on board with what we're doing. Sunday Night Live at 5. When you hear it announced to the church, it'll be like with a megaphone. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be all over the place. We're going to really talk about it a lot. I believe this is a great next step in our church for what God wants to do to allow more people to experience the presence of God. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. Love you guys. Take care.